How we doing? Everybody's ready for lunch, right? This is the sticky spot to speak in. Yeah, I have a defense background, but really the story of space is much bigger than that, as you're all aware. It's an exciting time to be in space, even thinking about it. Look at the things that are going on. I kind of harken back to what was going on in the days of Howard Hughes, and there have been some movies, so you can at least have some reference point of who that is. Wasn't the government that was doing a lot of the, or all of the advancement in the aircraft industry, in the air industry. Commercial developers were doing some crazy things. Here's this really rich guy going to build this huge plane. Is even going to fly. Not only is he going to fly, he's going to fly across the ocean. Probably going to die. That's what everybody's thinking. That guy's nuts. So here we are today, and we get a guy like Elon Musk. And Elon Musk says, yeah, I want to go to Mars. I'm going to launch a constellation, a huge constellation of satellites for commercial communications to make money so that I can go to Mars. And everybody's thinking, that dude is nuts, right? But it's cool. It's reinvigorated space. He's not the only one. There's a guy named Branson over on Virgin Orbit. Wants to take people to the moon. But it's not just about the travel industry either, right? It's what can space do? And people are starting to figure out, hey, space can do a lot. But before, space was really expensive. I don't have a couple $1 billion to throw something up on a satellite, and if I did, could I get all the stuff back down to do anything with it? Probably not. Here we are, decades later. You saw the GPS satellite earlier. Satellites don't look like that anymore, thank God. And they're not nearly as expensive. And getting them up there is a heck of a lot cheaper. So space is becoming democratized. I think as a population, as a world population, it means a lot for us. It's going to provide a lot of opportunities. Those opportunities have jobs tied to them. You're going to be able to go out and do all kinds of cool things that you never thought, right? I mean, I grew up in South Florida watching the space launches go. I never thought I'd have anything to do with any of that, right? Do a little Air Force stuff, get out, start working missile warning, missile defense projects for Booz Allen Hamilton. And I get to go to NASA, and I get to be in the executive suite right up there, not 10 miles away at some park going, that's so cool. No, I'm in the room with all the people that actually put it up there going, this is even cooler than that, jeez. So I'm having that kind of experience, right? The whole point here is you think you're on a path, and you are, but it's not the path you envision. There are so many things and so many dynamics going on in this industry that you have no idea of what you're getting yourself into. And to the previous speaker's point, if you get into a job and it's not what you thought it was, and it's not working out, I always say those are times to reinvent yourself. So just a couple of key thoughts here. You're at a time that's booming in this industry. There's all kinds of money flowing in from the government, from commercial organizations. It's everywhere. What space will provide are insights and data that we can actually use to do things cool like save the planet, right? So you want to know what Microsoft is getting jazzed about? Yeah, we went and talked to them about space. They're like, okay, yeah, but how does it fit into the bigger play? How can we save snow leopards? How can we help the farmers in Africa with this stuff? And we scratched, okay, hold on, we'll be back. And then we went and talked to a whole bunch of our colleagues that were already working those kinds of programs and software capabilities. And we said, what kind of data do you need? And they started to tell us. And we said, hey, wait a minute. That's possible. But it's not just what we do by ourselves. And I'm not up here to give you a pitch on Microsoft. I'm not here to talk about Xbox, although it's cool, especially if you're a gamer. It's a really cool thing. But what we're doing is we're trying to make space data ubiquitous. It's this thing that's out there you can grab just like any other data source that you grab today, and you can do it cheaply, you can do it fast, and you can do more with it. That's kind of our play in this. But to do that, you have to do some things like IoT processing out on the edge, because now that data needs to come down. Some of it needs to go out and do something cool right away, and some of it needs to come down for long-term studies and understanding things. Big processing. So again, we're at a point now where you're looking at things, and I want to just go through a couple of slides here, and I promise it's not a Microsoft pitch. We're getting around the world. We do cloud in almost every country in the world, and provide data, trying to make data available, data access to anybody, anywhere on the planet at any time for whatever the heck they want to do. That's the goal. You know, Satya Nadella tells us our company objective is empower everybody on the planet to do more. Okay, that's not daunting at all. We'll figure that out. But then he does a lot of cool things to help us do that, and we all get to focus on something that we're passionate about. And even within Microsoft, we get to jump around. When I came in, I was going to do Air Force programs on missile defense. And I said, I've done that. I'm really bored with that. I don't want to do that anymore. And they said, okay, we don't have anything in space. How about doing that? And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'll go do that, right? But these are the kinds of opportunities that will come your way as well as you go through and start working these opportunities. And you start, you know, nobody comes in. You're not the software development team lead. You're not the, you know, program manager. You're learning, right? But how much learning do you need to do, and how painful does it need to be? Not very, right? Be, as the previous speakers have said, be excited about this stuff. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. My gosh, are we on the edge of something that's brand new that most industries don't understand yet? Yep. We go in and we talk to them about, hey, we're going to help you build this machine learning model. Okay, that's kind of cool. How do we know when it's any good? I don't know. We have to figure out how we're going to test it. Can we just launch stuff before? No. So then you hear things like agile development, right? If you've looked at software, this is a big buzzword term about, you know, hey, I need to keep doing it fast. The fail fast thing, it's fail fast in software. Oh, we launched our first one, it's crap. It didn't even work. All right, we launched the second one, it's a little better. Okay, we just keep doing that until we get it right. But you can't do it too long because these are commercial companies and they have to stay in business. So all kinds of people learning about how this works, how to keep them updated, show the visibility inside of the models that you're building so that you don't put undue bias into them. But these things apply to space as well. But you can see the whole point of bringing that up is you can start out in space. If you're putting machine learning models on the edge that are going to go up on a satellite, you may get sucked into a project that next thing you know, you're working machine learning models development in any piece of industry you can think of. So again, you're going to get exposure to things as you go along. They're going to open doors and give you opportunities into things you never saw coming. I also want to point out some of the things that you're going to see over the next 5 to 10 years. You're going to go, so what? Right? They're demonstrations of what can be. We're on a path. We're dealing with big organizations, big companies, big governments around the world. They don't just throw money, hey, it's a good idea, we should throw all kinds of money at it. I wish, right? It just doesn't work that way. So you have to do little bite development pieces. And so we're out doing demos to show how you can do machine learning AI on a moving aircraft and push that data back and forth to do the things you need to do, to update it in flight, right? Not very exciting. Kind of exciting because it's never really been done before in that way, but in the big picture of things, not very exciting, but foundational. Please recognize as you go out into industry when you're working something foundational, right? Understand that it's going to take this little piece to get something started, and hopefully it will snowball, and we'll get to where we're really going. Because all of those people that I mentioned before, the Howard Hughes, the Elon Musk, the Richard Branson, they all did that. They started in something that wasn't that cool, but they knew where it was going. So hang with them. There's the example of the aircraft one. Let's talk about visual environments and virtual environments. All kinds of technology out there coming out of the gaming industry. Again, you get these crossing pieces where you're working something and it may lead to something else. But virtual environments for space, we talked about lowering the cost for space. Really, that will happen because you can make things cheaper, faster, better. You can get it out to more people, therefore you're going to lower the cost. But it's still expensive to put stuff in space. Things don't always work in that environment. There's a whole lot of physics that go on. I'm not a physics major. I try and make sure that we bring the kinds of technologies that help them figure it out. So there are a number of organizations building out these virtual environments based on gaming technology. But then you have to feed it all of the physics of what does a space weather event do? What does it even look like? What are the physical aspects of that? Can I get that into a model? So all of a sudden you take all of that and you're working on something that is going to help push the envelope even further. So with that, all I will say is the future's bright. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Jump on for the ride, see where it goes, keep yourself happy, and it's not just any one piece of this development or industry that's going to hold the key for you. It'll be a starting point on a journey that will be wild, and I wish you all well.